What's going on, my friends? John Caniford. How are you guys today? So, I'm struggling a bit today, guys, and I'm hoping you can give me some advice here. We received a phone call last week, and this is something I've really kind of been on the fence on posting and bringing this, to the social media, and to my, my YouTube family for advice. But we received a phone call last week from a venue that we were working for 2 weekends in a row, and we were doing school dances at this particular venue, and we get a phone call from the owners, and the owners call us to tell us that they received a phone call from a DJ that said that we were all over social media, essentially bashing and talking smack about their venue. Now, first off, we weren't bashing any venue on social media. In fact, I don't believe I mentioned any venue at all in the past 2-3 weeks. I don't even think I've mentioned where I've been on any of my social media accounts at all. And secondly, I have the utmost respect for this venue for the fact that they didn't take some naysayers' comments and they called me directly to just get to the bottom of it. They didn't care about the gossip. They didn't care about the drama. They wanted to call. They called me directly to find out if there was a problem and how they could fix it. Now, to me, that is an incredibly respectful thing to do, and it's also, it really shows like your professionalism, that you're just gonna go straight to the horse's mouth and not take word of mouth from somebody else that's obviously trying to start drama for no reason. And I know the reason why now, once I found out who exactly this was. And I don't want to call this individual out. I don't want to call the company out, because really it's not me. I don't put people on blast. And I share a lot of things with you guys, and I'm very open with a lot of our stuff, and sometimes it may be a good thing, it may be a bad thing. But to me, I feel like sharing and talking about things, is what helped me get to the point that I am at now. And there's a lot of guys that won't share some of their videos and photos online anymore because they feel that people either have stolen their setups, or they copy them, or they steal their footage. And to me, it's a shame to see that, because there's a lot of great companies out there that do some really amazing work. And it's a shame that some of them won't share some of their stuff now because of people like this that go and spread gossip. Now, this company, I found out who they were, and I realized probably why they chose to do this to us. Because one of their clients moved to us this year. And it was just that the school was ready for a change. Their school dances weren't working for them. They wanted to try something new, and they came to us, and we gave them probably one of the best school dances they've ever had. And I can rest assured you that was probably one of the most successful dances for them. And I hope that this company sees this video, and I hope maybe they can learn from this in a positive way, and not go trying to spread gossip or start drama between a vendor. Like, now, how many other vendors do I need to call now to make sure that they haven't tried to drag my name through the mud? I mean, really, that's kind of, I think that's defamation of character, and definitely defamation of our business. I met this company about 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was 4 years ago. I met them 4 years ago because the EV Live X series just came out, and we were being told to buy the EV Live X 18s because they were the new subwoofer to have. But part of me really was wanting the Yorkville LS801Ps. So we ended up getting a deal on the Yorkvilles, and we ended up going down that route. And I forget how exactly I met this individual, or if he had called me for some reason. I don't remember the circumstances surrounding that. But I remember that him telling me that he had the Live X, or he had just got them, and how they were the greatest subs he ever heard. And we had just got the Yorkvilles. And I was blown away by the Yorkvilles. And so the way he was talking about these subs, I was like, man, maybe I made the bad decision. Maybe I should have got the Live X. And so, as we talked, I said, hey, would you want to set up a time where we could do kind of a side-by-side A/B comparison from the Live X to the Yorkvilles? Back then, I didn't know much about sound. Not nearly as much as I know now. I probably could look at on paper and tell you that the Yorkvilles would stomp a hole in the EVs all day long. So we set up this time to go over to his garage and do an A/B comparison of the Yorkvilles. And the Yorkvilles were tremendously louder. They hit 9 times harder. I thought they were going to knock the windows out of his garage door. And we immediately got negativity from them. We immediately were faced with the, oh, this is an overkill. What you're doing with school dances is an overkill. You don't need this at school dances, blah, 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 blah. And guys, I've heard this so many times throughout my life, and especially when we started wanting to do these bigger school dance setups. I started hearing about how what we were doing was an overkill, and it wasn't needed. And it was more than a school dance ever would pay, and it was more than this, more than that, don't do it, blah, 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 blah. And this is a prime example, guys, and why you should pave your own road. Don't follow the naysayers. Don't go down the road that is guaranteed to work. Sometimes you can be highly successful, and sometimes you can get burned. But sometimes going down the road less traveled is well worth it. And the reason I wanted to get into school dances is that I felt that we could do a better school dance than what was currently out there. It wasn't that we were just randomly decided to want to take business from people. It was that I have a passion to create great school dances. And I found that passion after the first year. And we started picking up new schools. Now, I don't know if they were from, schools that he had done in the past, or that his company had done in the past. I don't know if that was the case or not. But we started picking up all these new schools. And we started to change the way the school dances were done in our immediate area. Now there's another company and there's a couple companies in Maryland that do really great school dances. But I'm talking about Virginia right now. And we started doing these bigger, more elaborate school dances, and I can't tell you how many times I heard on the forums that it was too much, we didn't need to do it, and the same thing I just said 5 minutes ago. And we did it. We did it because I believed that we could do something with it. And I followed my gut and I followed my heart, and I went down the road that hasn't been paved. And we started changing the game in the area for the way school dances are. Suddenly, schools that would only pay no more than $400 for a school dance are paying thousands of dollars for a school dance. Because you know why? Because school dances suck. They really do. And a boring school dance is the worst. The whole thing for a school dance, you want there to be camaraderie among the classes. You want school dances to be exciting. You want the students to get hype about the next school dance that's going to take place at their school. But if you're just another boring DJ, I can promise you will never do a school dance where the students talk about it from year to year, or certain schools start being recognized throughout their counties because that school does the biggest school dances in the state. So you can go in with a simple mind on things and not see a bigger picture and just stick with what has worked in the past and stay there. As I said yesterday in the example about the conveyor belt, if you stand still in a conveyor belt, you're going to go backwards. If you just kind of walk along on the conveyor belt, you're going to stand in place. But if you're thirsty and you're hungry and you want to run on that conveyor belt, you will move forward. And I feel that that's what a fresh mind and a fresh vision into an industry or into a style of event, you know, can do. And I'm not saying that their way is wrong. You know, if you're happy with that, then great. But we're going to do our events our way. And, you know, I think there's a lot of times that a fresh or a younger mind, you know, can inspire change. And it's not that, you know, so I'm trying to think of the best analogy to kind of put this. There's been times that I've been puzzled on something, and I will look at it, and I have stared at it, and I've looked at it every which way possible. But then my wife can come in and look at it, or I can have a colleague come look at it, and right away they can figure it out. And it's because that I've looked at it so many times, and I've been stuck at looking at it one way instead of looking at it from another angle. And that fresh mind can look at it from a different angle that I may be looking at it at. And they can see it, something that I can't see, something so obvious. And I feel that's what we did in our area when it came to school dances. Now again, there are companies that have been around doing bigger school dances long before me. But within this immediate area for the schools that we do now, before we came on board, they weren't. They weren't. They were the simple school dance setups, and there's nothing wrong with that. Certain schools just don't have the student body to do it, nor do they want to put that kind of money into a school dance. But some of our schools, they want to give the best product possible to the students, and most of those schools are the ones that hire us. So, going back to this whole thing, one of our newest schools this year, I found out, used to be a client of this other company's. And so I think that this was his motive to contact the venue that we were going to be at, because this is where they've had their prom the past 4 or 5 years. And their motive was to contact the venue, whether it was to blacklist me, whether it was just to make my life hell, whatever their motive was, it was to essentially just try to either get me bumped out of the venue so the school couldn't use me. I mean, it's shady. It's such a shady, childish thing to do. Like, I know that we're doing high school dances, but at the end of the day, we're not in high school. Act like you're a grown-ass adult. Grow up, be proud of your work, and look, if someone gets you a gig from you, let it be. Like, I've lost clients, and I know that it sucks, and I know that it's not fun, and all you want to do is just get that client back. But let me tell you, low blowing someone or trying to do something behind their back and being shady about it doesn't make it right. And the karma from that just comes back to bite you somewhere down the road. It will. One way or another down the road, doing stuff like that will come back to bite you. And you know how I know? Is because when I was younger and I was in my early 20s or late teens, I would do stupid stuff like that. And it's come back to bite me. And I've had to work my butt off to rebuild some of the relationships that I have and to build our company to what it is today. So, from a 29-year-old to an older adult, don't do that. You don't need to. Just continue doing your business to the best that you can do. And at the end of the day, if you're giving your best, then what's wrong with that? And if your best isn't good enough, then maybe look at trying to improve. Maybe look at changing. Maybe look at it from a different angle. You know, when I met these guys, you know, there was an age gap, and I'm not trying to say he's super old and I was super young at the time, but I was trying to find like something common on a common ground to talk about, because all we were getting was a lot of negativity and a lot of being shut down on our creative ideas. And I had just gotten into turntablism, and so as I'm talking to them about the dances in general, they told us that they could get up on the table. So I'm thinking, oh my god, they use turntables. This is something I might have in common with them now that I could talk to them about. And come to find out, they literally get up on the table. Like, they physically get up on the table. Now, I don't know if it's, maybe I'm just jealous because I'm 350 pounds and I'd probably break the table if I tried that. But I don't get it. Like, I don't, and their reasoning for it was the students would think they were cool by doing it. Really? That's it? The students are going to think you're cool because you're jumping on a table? First off, if I was a venue and I saw a vendor on the table, I'd be pissed. Second off, why? Like, there's so many other great ways you could hype up a crowd and get the students engaged and excited than getting on a table. Guys, look, I don't know if they'll ever see this video, and part of me wants to call this guy up and be like, what's your problem? Because honestly, I don't want to have to worry about every new school that we get. Is this guy going to try to go behind my back and call the vendors and call the venues? Who knows what he may or may not have said to other vendors or even clients that may or may not be true. Like, what? So, first off, going back to what I said in the first half of this video, the venue called me, which is extremely respectful. But what about the clients or the vendors that actually listen to this guy? Like, what about those people that believe him? Are those the schools that won't return my calls? Are those the vendors that have that may not like us? I mean, who knows what someone like this has done to our reputation? And I've worked hard. I've sacrificed so much. I've sacrificed my family, my wife, my parents have all sacrificed time, money, energy, effort into raising me and my wife into helping me build this company, to do things to the best of my ability, just to have some guy try to tear it down over lies. Like, it's so hurtful. Like, it's, I don't know, guys. Tell me your advice on this. Like, what would you do? Would you call this guy up? Would you? I mean, I'm almost rather, if I do contact him, it'd either be from my attorney, and I don't even know what you would contact him on the sides of, or whether I should send him an email so I at least have it in writing, or even to reach out to my current clients and be like, hey, I know this is kind of a silly thing I have to ask you, but has this company been in touch with you, and have they said anything that could be derogatory to our company? I don't know, guys. This is kind of a hard topic for me. I really don't know how to go about this. So I'm curious to see what your advice may be. So if you would do me the favor, and I know a lot of you guys, leave your comments and everything, but if you haven't made a comment on a video before, and you've kind of been waiting for a time, here's a great opportunity, because I really would appreciate any comments on this that you guys may have. So down below are the comment section for YouTube. If you leave it on Facebook or something, I'll make sure we try to check those as well. But let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you've ever been in a similar situation and how you've handled it. Because I feel like, I'm being respectful right now by not bashing him or trying to slander his name. I mean, I could easily do what other people have done and get a bunch of their friends to go give horrible Yelp reviews and make up lies like they have and even it up, but it's just, that's not me. And I don't want to change who I am, and I don't want to stoop to that level. So if you guys would, leave your comments, leave your thoughts. If you want to leave words of encouragement, I could use those too. So until then, guys, I will talk to you guys on the next video. But in the meantime, here's some videos from the school dance this past week. Let's go! What's going on, my friends? We just finished Osborne Park's 2015 prom. I have Alyssa here with us. Can't talk. I'm exhausted. I know you have to be.
I'm tired too.
So this is the first year they moved to JJDJ for their proms. Alyssa, how was it?
It was awesome. The kids really had a great time. The seniors that were here this year said it was way better than any prom they've ever been to, and they loved it, and we're definitely going to have them back.
Awesome. Guys, I'll chat with you guys later. Alyssa, thank you so much. Osborne Park 2015. It's a mess in here. Oh. So much gear that we gotta get a new vlog camera.
No, we don't. It's good.
Guys, I'm sorry. My wife just totally dropped you. So you guys okay? You guys make it? You got a little bump?
Sorry, I'm
Discotheque, you got a little bump on your head?
Hold a dog and hold the camera. And...
Guys, I'm sorry. I hope you guys are okay.
They're fine.
They're pissed. They're going to be so mad at you for dropping that camera. Now she's just going to cut you guys off. This is going to be like, everyone's going to hate you. I don't want them to hate you. Apologize to them. Tell them you're sorry. Tell them you didn't mean to.
I'm sorry.